Breaking news, game over Canada. U.S. Ambassador Pete Hoekstra, multiple stories. In the last 10 minutes, over the last 3 hours, 3 different publications, 3 different truths. Are you ready for I hate to say I told you so? And if you think that the Trump administration and the U.S. Ambassador haven't gotten all my letters, haven't got all my presentations, and people have... Oh, well, we'll see if I get zapped. They're not liking this. Not liking this at all. Well, I'm loving it. Because Pete Hoekstra, Ambassador Pete Hoekstra, I had the great privilege of meeting him, even though I didn't know he was going to be the ambassador from USA to Canada. But I'll tell you, folks, everything I've told you, the Gripe and Fighter deal, Jolie going to do the 88 from Sweden. They're looking hard at moving away. They're not going to let me, folks. I'm on the move. I got to get set up in the room I'm renting here. I know I got to do that, but just finished cleaning up the place very well. And I need an audio screen, all that. Going to do some good presentations out here in Ontario, just like last time. But bear with me, I got to drive, because that's how it is in Canada when telling Canadians the truth. I'm restricted from all kinds of USA. Shut them down, shut them up, eh? That's what they try to do. I'm well versed in it, well used to it. Folks, U.S. Ambassador Pete Hoekstra drops the hammer right from the Trump administration. The Gripe in Sweden purchases 88 fighters. That is an end of Canada-USA trade talks, end of USMCA. That is condition of that agreement. It's also NATO, it's also NORAD, it's so much more. That will be the end of Canada. And your government wants to go all the way, as they all universally pass the budget, to move towards China against the USA. It's coming. There's going to be a military intervention inside of 2 years. I can just about guarantee you that. I would say within 2 years, USA is going to have no choice as they start training military in all those northern state cities to prepare for the design of Canada. If Americans don't know that, your government is very strategic, very smart, wouldn't matter Democrat or Republican. They play these schemes not to hurt the American people, but to protect the American people and to protect their ideals. Anyone in Canada who hasn't told you that we are extremely dense pockets of cities, especially GTA, especially Quebec, actually all provinces. We rely on our dense cities and mass immigration, pockets of rural, easy highway access, very little private property. Our rural systems are tiny. It's the Great Wall of Canada versus USA, and the staging of something like that would have to be a train and lift off from northern cities in the United States. That's how they'd have to train the military to be ready for the largest, most unprotected border in the world, and of course USA's largest unprotected border. Your government, your crown, as you witnessed yesterday as I gave a breaking video, told you what Pete would probably do. The comments on Pete's posts, they've been watching what Trump's going to have to do, what Democrats and Republicans are going to have to partisanly do, as they were already doing Mark Rubio and Joe Biden. And they did those laws in America bipartisanly under Joe Biden. Quietly. Trump's anything but quiet. He's a kind man, a genius, a strategist, but he's not pulling any punches. He tells the truth. Listen, we're not going to tolerate these things. Ambassador Pete Hoekstra is telling you it's an end to USMCA. It's an end to a lot. NORAD, NATO, probably our G7 membership. Look at us with China on the G7 radar since 2018. You think America's going to kick back and say, don't worry about it, Canada. Go ahead, betray us to the Chinese. Shut down our military complex by divesting your energy away from us and into China at your taxpayers' expense, after our taxpayers have carried your economy since World War II, and in fact, all the way back to before Canada was even a country, because UK and the Nine Kingdoms threw Canada away before it was Canada. 2 provinces, east and west. That's a fact. That's the truth. That's the reality of what America has to do now. It is such a betrayal by a garbage crown, a garbage government, and Canadians don't know any better, don't have a clue. Myth is Canada, illusion is Canada. No, Canada's very real. It's a real diseased, evil country. Socialist and fascist, an age-old monarchical diseased system that created Nazi Germany, created imperial fascist Japan, created Italy, created South African apartheid, created Israel and Palestine. The problems Trump has somewhat fixed very well, but not completely fixed, but they will get there. All you have to do is look at South Africa. They will get there. Never trust Canada, and Canada's evil, because it's Canada's design that they took and used to create the 1917 Israel. Look at the Balfour Declarations. It's much, much more. Look at Westminster 1931. Canada is front and center of all major socialist, fascist evils and mass genocides and world conflicts. It is the design and source. Reality. It's that system. How Canadians are so bamboozled is beyond me. It's only really terrifically successful here on a mass institutionalization level, but it's never worked anywhere else in the world, and it always leads to genocide. How Canadians don't see it's beyond me, but the genocide's coming. You've already seen the genocide with the First Peoples, not matched in American history. For those 70,000 First Peoples that died under America 1776 till today in all the Indian Wars, wow, guess how many Americans died? 38,000. That's the best outcome First Nations have ever had in any colonial history, because the numbers are massively skewed the other way, because it's pure genocide. There's a difference between war and genocide, and it shows. Look how many hundreds of years that was. Those are pretty small numbers. It's all the colonial evils, and the worst evil being Canada. Look how many First Peoples are left in Canada versus USA, and Russia for that matter. Look at the claims that Canada tries to hide behind. Oh, it was all disease. A disease that was cured. A disease that no way, shape, or form shows anywhere near in 2,000% less combined USA and Russia. Many times the population, many times the First Peoples, but 2,000% less in those claims in the same year periods. Canada is done. It's finished. Pete Hoekstra is announcing it today that there is no coming back. And just 10 minutes ago, the gripe and fighters from Sweden, the monarchy, if Canada does the procurement of those 88 and says to hell with USA, that is the beginning of the absolute end of Canada, the country, and USA's new number one enemy, and likely to be USA's next major military conflict. Mark my words. Breaking news, 3 interviews, 3 publications over the last 3 hours. The last one, maybe 15 minutes ago today, released. Wow. Everything I've told you in the last 2 days of videos. The gripings are there to Sweden, my post on Sweden. Americans are watching me intensively, and I love it. I love it. I love my connections. I love the fact that I have working relationships with some of these high-level Americans. It's excellent. I'll never, ever forget, and I'll always cherish Ambassador Kelly Craft. Wow, wow, wow. I'm just tickled pink tonight. Incredible. God bless everybody. Share, share, share. Massive breaking video. Budget passed. Jolie's mouth flopping. Liberals in control. With the Conservatives, with the NDP, with the Bloc, with the Green, with all provincial premiers, all provincial parties. They're all in cahoots, and America knows it. And that should wake all of you Canadians up, because if you don't see it, the next major military conflict is going to be Canada and USA. Mark my words. Share, share, share. Get it out there. Doesn't get any more of a painted picture than the last 3 hours, 3 interviews, 3 publications, Canadian media. It's up to all of you to get it. I can't share it. Anyone who doesn't know you can't share Canadian media, well, send me a link. I can't. We can't on Facebook. You should know this. It's only been the truth of Canada for 2 years. And whose fault is that? Oh yeah, the Crown. Not a corporation, not a myth, not an illusion. Your Crown, customary laws, the elected and appointed politicians. The almost 1,000 elected for all provinces and territories and federal government, plus the many times that appointed Crown politicians. If you don't know this, read the Constitutional Acts of Canada, consolidated 1867 to 1982, Lewis and Holes. If you're a Canadian, you can't do this. Please shut your mouth. You look stupid, silly. You're a shame to all Americans, and you tell them just how stupid and no good Canadians really are. I'm sorry. I've been preaching this for 10 straight years. Not only have I read all of that, which is a lot because they're much larger than the U.S. federal Constitution. I've read every Executive Powers Act of every province and all constitutional legislation before Canada in all its history and all the provinces' history, post and throughout. All amendments to the Constitution too. There are many. That's up to all of you to get into. AI will give it to you on a silver platter. I finished that just a week ago. Got reinstated on the platform. However, I'm greatly hammered now. If I don't move and I don't keep the vehicle going, every time I stop at a stop sign, a light, bam, there goes your video. They catch you. Talk about censorship. Share, share, share. Get it out to everyone you know. Credible, real, verifiable. It's there for all of you. Next major military conflict, Canada, USA. Mark my words. We're way beyond salvation now. Bye now. God bless.